As Alan McNish inexorably closes in. Takes a very different line through 16 there, doesn't he? Much closer to the right-hand wall than his teammate, and gets great drive off the corner. The two Audis almost as one now as they sweep past the Aston Martin and into turn number 1. And Fessler has done enough to stay ahead of McNish for this lap at least. This early part of the lap. Nick Heidfeld starts the next round of petrol pit stops. Is that about right? The 12 car coming into the pits, Jeremy, on lap 49? And while you have a look at that, let's head down to the pits and Andrew Marriott.
Yeah, I've just seen the two Rebellions make their pit stop, 13 first and then 12. 13 had a driver change, but Leakey got out, and Gong Fu Cheng, Frankie Cheng, the Chinese driver, got in. He's one of 2 drivers from China taking part in this race. Actually born in China, was the 3rd American-Chinese driver. No, I think that was an expected pit stop, no problems down here. But a little bit surprised, boys, that those 2 cars are not really matching the muscle milk pace as the Delta Wing returns after that long pit stop. Remember, it lost a cylinder. They did reckon it was an electrical problem, so that has been behind pit wall for 3/4 of an hour or so now. And Jamie, you've got more.
And Muscle Milk Picket Racing also taking this opportunity to make their scheduled pit stop. They are doing a driver change. Klaus Groff getting out, Lucas Lord getting into the car. These 2 practice this driver change non-stop. I was talking to Lucas yesterday, though, and he was really bored because he didn't get much time behind the wheel of the car, so he's certainly looking forward to this first stint today. It is perfectly normal pit stop. Driver change now complete. He's going to get 4 new Michelin tires. Fuel's already done. Team doing everything they can just to stay in the fight, because as Lucas says, you have to be there at the end, and that's when the fun really starts.
Negative. Can do. So back out and into the race. The gap at the front of the field, blink of an eye, 0.2 of a second. In P2 then, pit stops, we'll let those cycle through. In PC, Kyle Marcelli leads in the Bar 1 Motorsports number 8 from Bruno Junqueira by about 20 seconds or so in the RSR. Whoa, and we've got a problem for Lucas Lure out on the circuit. It's 3 wheels on his Muscle Milk wagon. Hearing this on the official net. Now this is the leading ALMS full-time runner. This is lap 50. We're an hour and 35 into the race.
Just come out of the pits.
And Lucas Lure, and there is the confirmation. He is missing an essential component from the left front, and he's got, well, almost all of the lap to do. A real wake-up moment for Lucas Lure in that number 6 Muscle Milk car, and this is a real opportunity for the Rebellions. He's got a long way to go, Jeremy, and he's doing a good job. You can see how stiffly sprung these cars are. I mean, it's not as if the whole side just flops down, but being a front wheel as it is, there is some contact with the bodywork, and that's not good news.
Yeah, particularly on those right-hand turns, the left front will be dragging a little bit harder on the ground. So, and there's, of course, there's a right-hand circuit here, which is bad news for these guys. But boy, that's a very uncharacteristic miscue there. They just made a pit stop, so one has to assume, for whatever reason, that the left front wheel nut didn't go on as they had expected.
Well, there will be already a small inquest going on in the pit lane. Was that equipment issue, finger trouble? Had just come out of the pit lane. Great job by Lucas, really great job by. Look at the way his head goes left and right. He's checking backwards and forwards to see if there's anybody coming behind him. Now, it's the opposite side of the car to where the camera is. There's a Graves car comes, but that's the wheel nut. You just saw the wheel nut fly off there on the left-hand side. And Lucas, well, it could have been a lot worse, Jeremy, because it could have been a faster part of the circuit as the wheel does its best to catch up and hitch a ride back to the pit lane.
Yeah, so it was going into turn 3, so it only made it round a couple of corners before the left front wheel departed the scene. And here now comes Lucas Lure to bring that car back into the pit lane. They'll get a new wheel on it and inspect it for damage and hope it's not too bad. The good news is it shouldn't really damage much at all, because the tub shouldn't make any contact, just a splitter on the front, on the nose of the car. And with a bit of luck, they should just put on another wheel and send it on its way. But the problem, of course, is they've got to make sure that they've got to figure out why that wheel nut has escaped.
Yeah, it's bid for freedom there, didn't it?
Not a hub problem.
Yeah, the wheel nut's definitely not on there, because the other thing is, it's unusual, but sometimes you do see the centre of a wheel pull out. Let's stop speculating, get down to the Muscle Milk pit where Jamie Howe can give us the update.
And the team right now thanking Lucas Lure for his experience and knowing to get the car back safely first and foremost. The new wheel already on there. It looks like that one slid on, not a problem. And don't want to jump to any conclusion on anything, but the team saying that they are going to send it back out. They evaluated the damage on the car, and it was so minimal. They decided not to do anything. They checked the splitter. They did have a quick change front out and ready for Lucas, but they did not need it. So it was a very quick come back in. But we do know that the delta to drive through pit lane is 43 seconds, plus any time spent on pit road. So this costly couple of seconds, what it seems like now, that's what can win a race or lose a race later on. Fortunately for them, though, Dyson Racing has already had some issues today. Rebellion, though, they're in this for the full season. They could get those first place points. So Muscle Milk's got some work cut out for them.
And we have a new leader at the front of the field. Alan McNish, by a second and a half as they came past the line, has gone by Marcel Fessler. And this is how it happens. Coming out of turn number 6 and down towards turn 7. McNish already alongside there. And Fessler has nowhere to go. If you're going to pass a teammate, it has to be absolutely clean. And that was the very definition of that. Alan McNish putting his car all the way alongside and a bit more before he got into the braking area. Looks like the JDX car might have just slowed the exit of turn 5 for Fessler. McNish goes down the inside. He's almost in position. There's the braking area. He goes through, and Fessler disappears on the left-hand side. Now, this is from Fessler's point of view, Jeremy, and just couldn't get on the power quick enough there, it seems, from Fessler.
No, that's right, and you know, the GTC car significantly slower through the corner, and Fessler kind of got a bit too close to it. If he'd have kind of backed up a little bit beforehand and let the car go through the corner and make sure he could get on the power when he wanted to get on the power, then maybe that would have prevented the pass. But again, heads-up driving by Alan McNish, and the place change at the front of the field. I think it probably happened on lap 52 or 3, and Alan McNish now leads for the first time. That's the first lead change of the race.
Now, you remember that these two cars both took tyre